Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Amina Danjuma and I am a Nigerian YouTuber, and I would love it if you'd go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I post a video and you don't be left out. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. I don't know what that was, but thank you so much for coming back. So if you've watched my previous video or you follow me on social media, you know that I am currently in Canada, and yeah, so this is basically just going to be a life update video and just answering some questions. Guys, I have gotten lots of questions. Yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So one of the major questions I got, or like I'm going to start with, is how did you japa? How did you get to Canada? Like, what route did you use? I used the express entry, federal skilled worker, permanent resident, whatever you need to call it. So basically I am a permanent resident in Canada now. What that means is so basically what that means is that I can live in Canada without any restrictions. I can work in Canada without any restrictions. Well, I can, without the exception of, I think I cannot vote. I think that's the only restriction I have. I cannot vote, but I can live in Canada, work here, have my family here, basically do everything a regular Canadian can do. The difference is I do not have a Canadian passport and I cannot vote. So yeah, that's basically it. I came in through the federal skilled worker express entry process. In terms of how long did it take, which was another question I got, which was another question I got a lot. It took me from the day of submission to getting my passport stamped and ready. It took me 1 year 7 months. Guys, it was long. So when you see the short 1 minute video on TikTok thinking, oh, Amina just traveled, it was a long journey, ups and downs. And if you're doing any Canadian moving journey, one thing people always say is Canada immigration will teach you patience, and it taught me patience. I was like, what is happening? This is like, what is this? But alhamdulillah, I have gotten to my final destination. So yeah, I'm just basically going to walk you through the steps of applying, or the steps I applied in getting my permanent resident visa. And yeah, did I use an agent? No, I did the entire process myself. I did not consult any agent. I had a friend that's currently living in Canada, so once in a while I would just kind of update him and just be like, oh hi, this is what's happening, what do you think? But for the most part, I did my research myself and I applied, did all the processes, every single document I needed, I did myself. So the first thing was, when did I decide to come to Canada? I think, if you don't know, I did my master's in UK from 2018 to 2019. But before then, I had actually applied for master's in Canada. I think that was in 2017. But then I applied, I got admission, and I did not get my visa. Funny thing is, I actually applied with my dad, because we were told that if you apply with somebody like credible, because like my dad had already like gone to different places, so he had like different visas on his passport, he had a decent job, so it was like, okay, he would make it more credible, like, okay, you have like ties to Nigeria. Guys, they rejected my visa, rejected my dad's visa on the grounds that they don't believe I would come back. And the funny thing is, at that point in time, I had no intentions of staying in whatever country I went to masters in. Like, I literally just wanted to go and do my masters and come back to Nigeria. That was my mentality back then. So I was like, you know what, it's fine, I'll do UK. UK is easy. I did UK and that was it. I went. And when I was in UK, my friend Sheon, who is currently in Canada, or who was in Canada, he was like, he also applied for student visa, he got it, and he was like, Amina, apply for permanent residency, apply for permanent residency. I didn't even know what that was at that point. I was just like, Sheon, stop disturbing me, I'm going back to my country to go and serve my country and make my country better. But he was just like, okay, do you know what, just write IELTS and start the process. And just to like, this boy, leave me alone, I went ahead, I registered for IELTS in UK. I wrote IELTS and then I came back to Nigeria. So that was when I came back to Nigeria, reality now hit me. I was like, okay guys, this is not, I was just like, this is not where I want to be. I'm not happy. Honestly, 2020, I think 2020 was one of like the most miserable year of my life, and I was just like, you know what, this is not for me. And then I started researching the express entry process. I went on the IRCC website did my research. I went on YouTube, just like you are probably watching this trying to do research. I went on YouTube, watched a few videos, and I think the first video I watched, or one video that stood out to me, was that of Wiz Queen. I think that's her name on YouTube. She had just moved to Canada, and she basically detailed her process, and she was the first person I saw that moved without having family members in Canada, without having like anybody. She literally like moved on her own. So I was just like, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. And then I started my process. So yeah, now we're going to go into step 1. So the first step is to create a profile on the Express Entry system and enter the pool. So what do you need to create a profile? You need your IELTS exam, so that's basically your proof of English. You need your international passport. You need your I think you need your WEST, which is basically like a education evaluation. So basically you evaluate whatever degree you have, your bachelor's or your master's, to show that it matches the standard in Canada. And then you need to like give a little bit of information about your work history and then your age. I think over 30, if you're over 30, your points kind of reduce. So you need your IELTS, proof of English, your WEST documents, education evaluation, your age, your work history, and your international passport, of course, like a valid passport. And then you apply. That's the first step, and that basically just puts you in a pool. So basically it's a point system. So with all those information, you get a score, and then you enter a pool of people that also have like their own various scores. So after I did that, I think my score was about maybe like 450 something. And I remember telling my friend, she was like, oh, my score is 450 something. He was like, it's not bad, but like it could be better. So he was like, oh, I should try and do, he was just like, oh, maybe we should do things to increase your score, so probably like work more or like write an exam or something. And for me, honestly, at that point I was still kind of like, yeah, I'm not really too forced. And this was 2020 August, I think. Yeah, no, this was 2020 September. That was when I submitted my profile. And then about a month later, there was a draw in October, and my friend was just like, oh, did you see? I think a day after the draw, my friend was just like, oh, did you see there was a draw? I was like, oh, that's nice. I didn't even like think that I was like selected or anything. And then randomly I saw my email. I was like, oh, I actually got a message. I went and I was drawn. Funny enough, the score that they picked that month was 472. And when I checked my it was 471. And when I checked my profile, they had recalculated my score and it became 472. So that was how I actually like got invited to apply for permanent residence, which is now the next stage. That's where you now need like a ton of documents. So you have 3 months from when you get an invitation to submit all your documents to like formally apply for permanent residency. I got my email in October, so I had like, I think I got my email maybe like early October, so I had like October, November, December to apply. And then I started like researching the documents. So what did you need? You need like police certificates, which is like police character report for any country that you had lived in more than 3 months or more than 6 months, I think. And at that point it was like deep in COVID. I needed to get police character reports for Nigeria, Ghana and UK, which was like a lot. So that was what was stressing me out. UK they don't send you like an e-copy, they have to send you like a physical copy. So I literally had to apply for it, wait for them to post it to Nigeria. I did DHL to make sure like it came quickly. And then the Ghana one took a while, because normally for the UK one I could apply online and do it myself. For Ghana, I was supposed to be able to apply online, but for some reason their site, of course, it's in an African country, their site was not working. And then I went ahead, I think my dad had a connect or something, I was able to get it sent to me. After that, the next thing you need is your proof of funds. So basically you need a certain amount of money. I don't know how much it is now, but during my time, for like a family of one, I think it was about 11,000 Canadian dollars. I can't really remember. So basically you have to have that in your account, and you can't just put the money like a chunk and just throw it inside your account like that. You have to have like just basically been putting the money like small in your account. Shasha, I had that in my account for proof of funds. And then the next document you needed was like your medicals. So the medicals, you had the choice of either doing it up front, so you can go ahead and pay and do it on your own, or you could wait. When they evaluate your application, they will tell you to go and do your medicals. I decided to just do my medicals up front because I just wanted to like get it over with. And I think that was all the documents you require. So your police character report, your proof of funds. Oh yeah, you need like proof of work. So basically the work history that you had put in your previous like application, or when you were creating your profile, you need to have like proof, either your offer letter that you got from your office when you signed like your contract, or your business and your business company business card, or your business card for your supervisor. Just something that shows that yes, this person actually worked here. And you have to have that for like every job that you put in there before. If I am not mistaken, I think that those were the documents that were required. So mine took me a while. I got my email in October. So my UK police character report took over a month. The Ghana one too took over maybe like a bit shorter. And then my bank statements and my medical. So because with your medicals, I had to book an appointment, and then I did everything, got all my documents. So by like December 3rd, I had officially submitted my application and the waiting began. So on your profile, they usually had like a status bar, and it shows you like the percentage progress of your application. And I think by May 2021, my application was at like 68%. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. I still have May, June, or April, not May, sorry, March. By March, my application was at like 68%. I was like, okay, that's not bad. I still have March, April, May, June. I still have like 3 months. That's enough time. 67%. I'm already more than halfway done. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't moving. It stood there for the longest time. It was not moving from 68%. And then by April, the status bar went off my profile. So I was just like, what is happening? Then I sent an email, and then they were like, oh, because of COVID, like they're not working at like full capacity, so all applications are just going to take longer and all of that. I think they actually just went on pause in terms of the applications. It wasn't even like, because I'm like, all your staff members die. I don't understand why it was taking so long, Sha. But June came and nothing. July, nothing. August, nothing. September, nothing. I was just like, what's happening? And then obviously, like, I just started getting like uneasy and worried. But I wasn't even like worried. I was just like, it's the weight of not knowing. Just like, tell me my fate already. By that time, I was just like, you know what, let me just move on with my life. I cannot be waiting for these people. And I had already like opened my studio with my friend Aisha, and I was just like, you know what, when it happens, it happens. Like obviously I would stress about it sometimes, but I was just like, it's fine. And then I waited till this year. I did not hear like a single peep from them. And then in January this year, I noticed that my international passport was expiring. It was expiring, I think, in March. So I was like, you know what, Amina, let me go and renew my passport before they come and ask me. Because if they come and they say, oh, do this, and I don't have my international passport, they're not going to hear, sorry, we understand. They will not understand that. So I went to renew my passport, guys. Literally the week I think I went to renew my passport ending of January. That same week I got an email from IRCC. Not the same week, sorry, in February, like a week or 2 weeks later, I got an email from IRCC that I needed to submit some documents. So I was like, okay. I think that was when they announced that they had just started applications again. So I got an email from them. I needed to submit, guys. These people cost me money. I don't even understand. They're not nice. They should have just understood and be like, okay, it's fine. But then they told me to do all my police character reports again. They told me to do my medicals again. Guys, that was like, at that point I had paid like, I think medicals was about 80k. At that 74 or 84k, so I had to pay that again. My police character report was like $100 and something for the UK own. Abi? Yes, the UK owns like 90 something pounds. At the time I paid for my first UK police character report, my UK bank ATM was still valid, so I had pounds in my account. I paid myself. At the second time when it was time to pay, my ATM had expired. You cannot use your Nigerian card to pay. I literally had to change black market, which was like a lot of money. We all know like exchange rate was just going haywire at that point. I had to pay for my character report again. Ghana own was $100. I had to pay for that again. Okay, well, I didn't pay, someone paid for me, but I had to do that one again. And then luckily for me, one of my elder sister's friend was coming back from UK for a wedding, so she came with the police character report for me, because they gave me 1 month this time, guys. They gave me 1 month to submit all these documents, and I was just like, oh my god, like I cannot believe that I'm going to be having to, like, because of not being able to submit those documents, I'm going to this thing I've been waiting for the longest time. But luckily for me, alhamdulillah, everything worked out. My dad's friend was coming back from Ghana. He literally came with got my police character report in like 2 days, and my medicals was now where the problem was. You know, you have to book, so the closest date I could get was like very, very close to the deadline they gave me to submit the document. I had to go to Abuja, do my medicals, and then I kept on waiting. I think that was when I went from Abuja to Ogbomosho for Ramadan. I kept on waiting, guys, for this thing, and literally a day before I got a day before the deadline, I had to email IRCC, or I had to fill the web form and just tell them that, hey, I've done these medicals, here's my proof of me doing the medicals, it's still not ready, I don't know what's happening, just so you know. They didn't reply me. Of course, they usually take 10 years to reply, but then I now had to email IOM again, that's the medical center, and then they were like, oh, I should not worry, they're going to send it out today. So they literally sent it the day of the deadline. So that was fine. I was like, okay, I've submitted all of that. And then of course they contacted me that my international passport had expired, I should submit it again, or I should submit a new one, which was fine. I submitted the new one I had done, and I started waiting. So I think by May, I had submitted all the documents they requested for, alhamdulillah. And then in June, like a month later, I got an email, guys. I was literally on my bed with my sister, and then I got a notification that I had a change on my profile. I went and I logged in, and I just saw that it was like a passport request letter. And you know, when they request for your passport, you know that technically you've gotten the visa. And I was just like, because I was so like shocked. I literally just got up from bed. My sister was looking at me like, what's wrong with this mad woman? I got up from my bed, I went to go and do nafila, and she was just like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, they just said I should bring my passport. I was so excited, and I started, because I needed to feel like get a few documents to submit with my international passport. And guys, that was where problems started. Not problem, but like it was just annoying, because this entire process I had literally been doing everything hassle free, getting all the information I needed from the IRCC website. But then this time I needed to get some documents from like VFS, and I went on their website. Tell me why this document and this information was not on their website. If not that my friend Sheun had told me that, oh, he asked his friend that has done his own submission, and the friend sent him the list of documents that needed to be submitted with it, I would not have known. Because on the IRCC document they gave me, they said submit this, then contact these people for them to tell you the rest. These people that they had to contact, VFS, was Nigerian, and it was not on their website. All their numbers were not going through. Like Nigerian systems will always frustrate you, honestly. Like, I hate to be that person that's always like, oh my god, Nigeria is this, Nigeria, but facts, like, that's just it. They will always frustrate you. I had to I called all the numbers on their website, it was not going through. I sent them an email, they emailed me back like 3 days later. By the time they had emailed me, I had already found solution. I found like a Telegram group to join, got all the information I needed, and then I went to submitted my passport in June. I think, yeah, I submitted my passport in June, and then I traveled to Ogbomosho with like my family for my dad's birthday and retirement and all of that. And then while I was there, I think I got the email that my passport was ready. Guys, I was so happy. I got the email that my passport was ready, everything was ready for collection, and I paid for, because if you submit your passport through DHL, you can pay for them to bring it back when it's ready. So when I took it back to Ghana, I was not around, so my lovely friend Aisha collected the package for me, and she opened it and sent me a picture of my passport, and I was so happy and so excited. But yeah, that was basically the journey of my PR process. And basically, if you want to go through the PR process, that's basically the journey. I hope I was able to like say every single process. I don't know if I need to like put financial, like how much I spent in the entire process, because I did mine like almost a year ago. Exchange rates like has changed. Even like the amount of money that you need to put inside your account has changed. So I don't know if me giving you monetary value of how much I spent would be of any use. And then again, like, situations are different. Like, I stayed in 3 different countries, so I needed 3 different police character reports. If you only stayed in Nigeria, or if you stayed in more, like, the processes might be different. But basically, those are like the gist of the documents that you need when applying for permanent residency. Do you need an agent? Honestly, you do not need an agent. Every single information you need is on IRCC website. They give you like every single detail. So what I would say is, like, don't stress. If you've applied, literally just wait. As long as you submitted every single document. And guys, they would even ask you about your address, all the addresses that you've lived in, and they ask every single detail. And you have to put it like you lived in here from 5th of January to 6th of December. The next address should be from the 7th of December. You can't just say, oh, from January or something. They want every single detail of your life and where you've lived, what you've done, and all of that. As long as you are truthful, you'll be fine. Even if you lie, make sure you remember your lie. That's what I would say, honestly. If you lie, remember your lie. But as long as you're truthful, you're going to be fine. That is basically it. Mistakes I made during my process, or not necessarily mistakes, but things I wished I would have done differently. Number one is, this is actually a mistake, was I did my proof of funds in Naira. Guys, that was like the biggest rubbish ever. Naira, like, the Naira currency is rubbish, and the value of the money I had in my account as of December 2020, when I submitted my application, to when I got my visa, because guys, I was very paranoid. I did not touch that money. Like, I was using my account, but I made sure like the money never went below the required amount of money. That money, like, the value, like, obviously, like, went to rubbish. That's just it, because what you would have done with the money that year and what you can do with the money now is not on the same level. So I would advise, although I did think it was just going to be 6 months, but even though, I think you should definitely keep your money in foreign currency, because you have nothing to lose. At the end of the day, if you're going to use that money to travel, you're still going to need dollars. Bank is not giving you dollars, they're going to change dollars black market. So you might as well change your money to foreign currency and put it in your account and use it as proof of funds. That's like the one major thing that I honestly regret and I wish I did differently, but alhamdulillah, it all worked out. Yeah, that's basically all the information I have to give about this, like, my own process, or all the questions I got. Most of the questions I got, honestly, were just a few of them were a bit generic, like, I want to travel, carry me and go. Like, how did you do it? How did you do it? This is basically how I did it, and that's basically how I am here. If you have any like further question, please leave it in the comment section, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I try my best to reply everybody. And yeah, send me a DM, leave a comment, let me know if there's anything I left out. I don't think I did, but just let me know if there's anything I left out that you also want to know, or you have a specific question about. And I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Follow me on my socials and look out for the new series of Canada living, or life in Canada, and how I am just basically settling in, adjusting, and I guess making this my new life. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.